Good evening. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? And can you see me? And is it better with the lights on or off? We're doing some more ice tillage. Late night, late December, frozen ground tillage. No comments. Come on, guys. What's up? How's everybody doing? These are really boring live streams if you don't give me any questions to answer. Hopefully you guys can all hear me, see me okay. Everything is good. I didn't bring my phone mount. It would be too bouncy if I did have it anyway, so I gotta hold it, which it'll be fine. There we go. Merry Christmas. Michael, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for watching, guys. What's up? Nathan working late. You're a hard worker, sir. Thanks. Yeah, kind of unexpectedly here. I watching the forecast kind of thought that, yeah, there might be a chance that it gets cold enough to do some tillage here, but then yesterday, looking at what they were forecasting for the low, was only supposed to be like 27 or 28 degrees last night, this morning. And it got colder than that. I'm going to turn this light off. It got colder than that, and so we've been working all day. We've gotten a lot done. Dad was running this tractor for a while with the Ripper. Brock was around today running the 8430 on a Ripper, and I was doing some disking with the 8R, so we covered a lot of ground. I'm going to stay up and work a little later tonight doing this field, this one, and then we've got one more farm that needs to be done with the Ripper, and then we've really got all the ripping done, and that's awesome. So we're trying to get that stuff wrapped up before it gets too warm tomorrow and thaws out, because it's supposed to be up in the high 30s tomorrow, and it's going to get greasy, and that'll be it for a while. How are you? I am good. Thanks, Edwin. Pouring rain here in Northern California. Fortunately, Northern California is a long ways from here. We do not need any more rain. How many acres left? Well, I just started into this field. We're just starting it. There's 46 in this particular field. There's another 21 or 22 across the ditch, and another little 6 or 7 acre chunk that way. Like 75 here total, so we're not going to get that done tonight. After this little group of farms, we've got 95 acres in another spot that needs to get done. 30 of that will likely get done. The rest, that 65 that's left, will probably not get done, just because it's so wet. It's not going to happen. We do have a lot of corn stalks that still need to get dissed. We'll do what we can with that. What tractor is four-wheel drive for a tractor? This is a 9510R, so it would be a series older than the 520R. This is a 2014 model tractor. Oh, that reminds me, about a week or a week and a half ago, I got a comment from somebody, and I looked up his name right before I started this, but I forgot, asking me about the transmission in these 9R tractors and why there's a little scroll wheel on the shifter, this little wheel right here. If you're watching, or you guys care, I'll explain that while we're on the live stream, but you have to ask for it. Did you check the late wheat? No whining. I have not checked the late wheat. I need to do that. You guys keep asking me, and I apologize for not doing it. I've talked to a couple of other people and neighbors that have done some of that, and they looked and said that it sprouted. I was getting ready to poke through, but I have not gone out and looked, because when it's warm, it's muddy. When it's not muddy, it's cold, and I don't want to do it. So I need to go do that sometime. How's the new shed doing? Well, we've got the concrete poured. So they finished that. I never have gone out and shown you the finished wall between the two buildings there, or the old part and the new part, but concrete is done. I mean, the walls, we've got to do a floor, but that's going to be a spring project. Dad's been working on backfilling a little bit here and there. As far as when the structure itself is coming, probably late January, February time frame before that goes up. I have to work nights all weekend. Merry Christmas. That's rough. Merry Christmas. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas to all of you as well. Jackson, yeah, you're close. Merry Christmas. Good evening. Halifax, Nova Scotia, you're not close. That's a long ways away. Hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you. Storm is heading your way by next week. The one from California, yeah. It's supposed to get really warm by Friday, I think. It's supposed to be up around 50 or something, so it's okay. We just don't really need the rain that seems to come with all these temperature swings. It has been a long fall for you. Yes, it has. It was, yeah. Well, we're done with harvest, right? So we're doing tillage now, not harvesting. So that is good at least. But yeah, we started September 12th with harvest, and we've been working hard ever since. And we were doing tillage in the first week of September there, getting the cover crops planted. So we've been working hard for quite a while. And really, this whole year's been kind of drawn out because we did a lot of stuff in March, which rarely happens. I mean, we never get to work in March. And we did quite a bit this year, so. You should drop by Brian's farm, give him a review of their spray job on the gleaner. Yeah, I saw their power wash job. I'm like, well, you didn't even open the shields up, man. Anybody can get the outside clean in 30 minutes. Open that thing up. So, nah, it's all right. A lot of people take a different approach to cleaning their combines. I know people that don't do anything. Guys that'll just blow them off with air and they won't ever touch a combine with water. Guys that'll only do the outside with water and never under shields or anything like that. And they all have their reasons. A lot of people are worried about getting water in bearings and stuff, and I totally get that. I worry about it a little bit too, but our combine is going to spend the next 2 to 3 weeks at least in the shop, probably more than that. And so all that water, anything that gets in them is going to dry out in that heated environment. I'm not worried about it freezing. So that's a lower concern for me than for some people. Some people just, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. So, anyway. Merry Christmas, Keith Kirk. Northeast North Dakota. So jealous you can do tillage in late December. Yeah, it doesn't happen every year. But for now, it's working pretty well. And I think we'll be able to go tomorrow as well. I remember doing tillage in January a couple of years ago. I've done tillage in February. We've done tillage every month of the year, just not usually every month of 1 year. So if we do some in January and February this year, that'll be 12 straight months that we've been doing field work. It's not going to happen, but I couldn't sleep knowing the combine wasn't washed. Thanks for cleaning it up for me. Yeah, no problem, Steven. We're getting there. We got to do some work in the shop yet. Today was supposed to be combine service day. That didn't happen because, well, we're doing this instead. This is more important. So if it warms up tomorrow and we get out of the fields because it's too greasy, maybe we'll work on it in the afternoon. Otherwise, it can wait until next week. So 700 until 220,000 subs. Yeah, a little less than 700 actually. So hit that subscribe button for me. I really wanted to get there by the end of the year. I don't think you guys can do it anymore. I had faith in you in November. I don't anymore. So, I'll throw this out there. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to throw it out there. I've kind of had in the back of my mind for a while that when I hit that 20,000 subscriber mark, I will seriously start looking into merchandise and a few other things. So if you want that stuff, make sure you're subscribed, and a little encouragement that you might actually buy something if I actually went through and did all the effort to set that up, would also be helpful. But I know a few of you have asked for it. I've never done it because I don't know why. A few different reasons, but if we get to 20,000, I might see what I can figure out. Holly, 7-shank ribber. No, this is actually a 9-shank. It is a 2730 John Deere true set and 9-shank. So we're 18 feet wide, 24-inch spacings. What tractor are you running? This is a 9510R, 510 horsepower. Not far from Oak Island, I think. Yeah, that could be. I don't know. I think the 9R, yep. Did you have any of the winds from December 15th up there? Yeah, so that storm that blew through in the middle of the night, that's, I assume, the one that did all the damage in Kentucky and down south farther, Arkansas and all that. We did. It got windy, but not that bad. Our weather station at the farm, I think, recorded a high wind speed of 42, maybe, something like that, in the 40s, I believe, which is windy, but not devastatingly windy. According to the local news station, there was a town about 30 miles, 25 miles from us that they had recorded 78 mile-an-hour winds, which is still, I mean, that's getting up there, but some trees and limbs and stuff down, no other damage that I'm aware of too much. Long rounds for right now, which is good because it gives me more time to, you know, talk YouTube. Tillage is bumpy. That's the one bad thing about running the ripper, is the tillage is bumpy. So, the tillage equipment get to parked inside now with the new shed. Well, maybe. Hold on. Rotate. Switch hands. Now we're going to switch lights. That's kind of the idea, is that maybe we'll be able to get some of the tillage stuff in, but reality is we just don't have room for the rest of our stuff. I had to park a grain cart outside today because I don't have anywhere inside to put it, and I don't like doing that, but I have much of a choice in it. So this ground is hard. We're creeping along here, 4 miles an hour, going a little slow, 20% slip. It's not really that wet, but it's hard. We'll get through it. Anyway, so with that new shed, though, what it is going to allow us to do is get the planters out of the back half of the shop, keep that air seeder inside, let us get that grain cart in, some of the other stuff that we need to keep inside, and maybe this will be able to fit. I doubt we're going to get the field cultivator and the packers and the disc and all the rest of that stuff inside, but this might fit, so we'll see. It'll be helpful. I have long-term plans and ideas to insulate the back half of our shop and have more area to work on stuff, heated space. So in order to do that, we have to not use it for equipment storage, and that means having somewhere else to put the planters and the stuff that we have kept in there right now. So that's part of the idea. Kirk, yes, Oak Island. There you go. You guys have conversations in the comments. I love it. That's awesome. Hey, Scott. How long are you going at it tonight? Well, I'm not sure yet. I pulled into this field. There's 46 acres here. There's like 75 total that I could do. I figured that by the time I get done with this one, the 46, it's going to be about 1 o'clock in the morning. I probably won't work later than that. I might stay until this is done. I might not stay until this is done. Haven't decided. Depends on how much time I'm on a live stream. I am going to then edit the video for today. I have not done that yet, and I've got footage from me, I've got Brock cam footage, I've got GoPro footage, we got all kinds of stuff we got to put together. So about the time I finish all that stuff up, I'll probably be like, all right, it's time to go home. We are hoping to get an early start again tomorrow and do some more, so we will see. I've got a truck here at the field, so I can go straight home from here. I don't have to go back to the farm. Love the maintenance work you do. Your equipment looks new, even when it's older. Yeah, thanks. We try and do a good job cleaning everything up. It takes a lot of effort on some stuff, but I think it's worth it. It looks nice. Keeps everything working better. Plus, when I go through it and clean it and inspect it, I can find little things that are wrong or that need fixed and some attention. So that's part of the reason that we do that. So obviously with the new combine this year, we don't have as much maintenance to do to it. So that's going to go a little bit quicker this year, but we do need to take the corn head apart and clean that up a little bit, do some adjustments and everything. And obviously all the tractors got to go through the shop. I do have quite a bit to do to the corn planter this year, I hope. Kind of depends on whether I can get the parts that I need and stuff, but that might be a bigger project when we get into February and March, working on the corn planter. We are going to be behind schedule from last year on all of this stuff, just because we're getting so much later of a start. Last year we finished harvest much earlier, and we had combine out of the shop by the end of the year, or at least by Christmas. And well, that's not going to happen this year. We aren't going to have any of the tractors through the shop yet, so we'll see. I think I might have a rolling basket plugged in. Hard to tell. Yeah, let's stop and go out and look. Show you what I'm looking at. I don't know if you can see it real well, but right there, it kind of looks funky and a little streaky, like it's not being leveled off quite right. Oh, hang on. There we go. A lot of times what causes that is you get a rock stuck in the rolling basket, and it stops turning and it starts pushing dirt. And it's really hard to see behind me in the dark, so you don't notice it until you turn and you can catch it. Yeah, this one here. See all that dirt in there? That's not turning. So the reason in the question is, why is it not turning? Right there, we got a rock. And I know you can't see anything. I can't turn a light on, but I got a hammer, and we beat it out, and then there it goes. Now, if I can find that rock, there it is. We get little fist-sized rocks like that. And that basket likes to pick them up. So you got to come back here with a hammer and knock them out. And I believe our auxiliary rock storage on the tractor here is full, but if I leave this, we'll pick it up again. Yeah. Dad's been picking up a bunch of rocks, so we need to empty that sometime. Anyway, it's cold out here. Get back in the cab. There. Get moving again. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, maintenance. Yep, we talked about that. Alright. Steven, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you for all the education. I'm a future farmer. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. I could use a BBF hoodie. There you go. I'll see what I can do, maybe, if we get to 20,000. If I don't ever get to 20,000, I'm not going to do it, so... Other than a track-type tractor, what other major addition would you like to have for the farm? Yeah, so obviously track tractor is something I've talked about a lot. That's top of my list of things that I would like to do. A new semi-truck tractor is probably at the top of the list of needs. Not wants, but needs. So there's a better chance of that happening than anything else this winter, or going into next year at least. And outside of that, what do I want? What would I love to have? I'd love to have a Haggy sprayer, high clearance sprayer that I could spray tasseled corn with. Might be something we look at in the future, but we're not there yet. Track tractors, that's a big one. Free year of corn, drawing at 20,000. You want me to send you an ear of corn? I just cleaned one out of my pickup truck. When I was changing oil the other day, there was an ear of corn under one of the seats. I threw it away. I bet I could still find it and mail it to somebody. What was your average corn yield this year? I haven't gone through. I just today exported the last of the data off the green card scales before I unhooked it. I haven't had a chance to really post-calibrate our monitor to make sure everything is accurate like I want to. But we're somewhere right around that 200 bushel average. I think maybe 202 is the number I saw. I just don't know how accurate that is until I can calibrate stuff. So we had really good corn. I have 2 words for you, Nathan. Yes, you're right. And that's what I used on my truck the other day. Somebody recommended that to me a year or 2 ago, and I bought some of their 3-in-1 spray ceramic stuff, green liquid spray bottle, and it's pretty awesome stuff. I was a little skeptical. I used it on something last year and was pretty skeptical of it, and then I remember back in the summer after we got done with spring work, washing said tractor or something, and the water beating off it, and I was kind of like, whoa, what did I use on here? And I had to go back and reference my YouTube video from when I did it to see what product it was, and it was that Grashit Garage, Groit's Garage, however you say that. I don't know how to say it. But pretty impressive stuff. So yeah, I'm going to use a lot more of that, I think. Got my first 140 acres for 22. Planning on planting 11B76. That's a good hybrid. And 29-22, I assume, your main E3 beans. Did you plant any, and how was the results? Yeah, so southeast Nebraska. So you're a long ways away from me. So my experiences and yours may be totally different, but that 11V76 is a fantastic hybrid. That's the one that I had in the corn growers contest that went 285. So it's got really good high top end yield potential. I planted it first. I planted it super early. It got snowed on. It was cold. That hybrid can take that early abuse and do really well with it. It doesn't require high populations, which is why I planted it first, because I thought, well, if I lose some from poor, emergence and bad conditions at planting, or right after planting, it can compensate and be fine, and it did, and it was great. So yeah, I'd say you're on the right track on the corn. I hope you've got it ordered, because I can't get any more of it if I wanted it right now. So there's that. And then the 29-22 beans, I need to look through my plot data again. The only place I had them was in my bean plot, and they were okay. They were middle of the pack bean. There's a 3-1 that I'm going to plant a bunch of, but I've got a bunch of those 2.9s. The 2.9 and the 3-1 are the heart of my maturity zone. Those are the 2 beans that I plant the most of. So yeah, I'd say you're got good choices there. 31-23, I think it is. 31-32, something like that. Your opinions on tracks versus duals versus triples. Have a good Christmas. Yeah, tracks are superior, no doubt. I don't like triples because they're too wide. It's too hard for us to go down the road with that wide of footprint. The duals are what we've used and worked because they've been reasonably priced and they work. But no doubt in my mind, tracks would be superior. Good day, Nathan from Australia. Sweet. Are you the guy that was trying to steal Brock from me? Somebody from Australia was trying to get Brock to come work for him. My comments. Finished our wheat harvest. Had 30,000 acres done. Holy cow, that's a lot. That is a huge amount. How much frost are you getting through? I would say there's the top inch is frozen. I don't know, when I break through a puddle, there's a solid inch of ice on it. Take a drink. I don't have a fancy water brand that sponsors me. Sorry, so you get to watch me drink whatever this water is. You guys run a tight ship. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well water for the new house yet? Yeah, no. It's a fiasco, guys. Trying to get anybody to do anything right now is just a fiasco. The well is coming eventually. It was supposed to be done in the end of November. I emailed the lady a week or two ago, and she said their well driller was out for 3 weeks with COVID and they're behind. So she didn't really pin down a date. She told me 3 weeks behind, but that'd be like right now, and I haven't heard from them. So they've got about a month and a half until I've got to have it. So hopefully they're coming soon. How do you like the IVT? We only have 16-speed power shifts. They're still iffy looking IVTs. I love the IVT. I think it's great. It's smooth. It shifts. I mean, there's no shifts. It's just so easy to use. And for a tractor you're going to use on a planter or the grain cart, I mean, there's no better transmission. If all you're doing is tillage, power shift is fine. Now, there's nothing wrong with the IVT, I don't think, in that scenario. But power shift is sufficient. But yeah, for running a planter, a sprayer, a grain cart, any kind of stuff like that, that IVT is a fantastic transmission. Now that said, my dad doesn't like it at all. He would prefer to not have the IVT, I think, but it's just because it's not what he's used to, and he hasn't spent enough time in the seat with it to really learn how to use it and figure it out. So that's what it is. All right, flipping again. Any new equipment in the new year? Well, we're still figuring that stuff out. The used and, well, new equipment you can't get. Used equipment market is outrageous right now, along with everything else. So we're a little bit hesitant on that front. But like I was saying a little bit ago, a new semi-tractor is on the top of the list of things that we need to look at. So that'll probably happen, but I don't know when or what or anything like that. They're pretty hard to find too. Never enough storage. That is true. Oh, I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. After insulation shop, put waste oil furnace in, shop savings for kids' college fund. Yeah, we've looked at those waste oil furnaces before, but we don't actually generate enough waste oil to feed it all the time. And so, I don't know. The radiant heat tubes that we've got are awesome. I love those. They work really, really well. And we have an 18,000 gallon propane tank. It's pretty hard to not hook into that. A few hours north of you, like watching your videos. Thanks, Pat. Renate, house question. Have you considered an epoxy floor for the garage? Being it's new, it would look killer. Haven't thought about the garage floor too much. I don't know that we're really going to do anything with that. We've got a lot of other stuff that's higher priority on finishing the house stuff, like, well, insulation and walls in the garage. And we want to finish the basement and do some other stuff. So, but yeah, you're right. It would look pretty cool. It'd be nice. Hello, thanks, Chris. You found the soda can cooler in the AC vents in your cab. Yes, absolutely I have. The problem is I have the heat on right now, so I'm not putting my water up there because it'll make it too warm. Hey, Alex. Merry Christmas, Zach. Hi. How are you doing tonight? Hey, Bert. Hey, Bert, sorry to hear about your mom. Hey, what's up with you? Well, Robert, I'm doing tillage. We're ripping. How's it working up? Might as well work. You'll be done Friday for a while. What are you working? Yeah, so I think we're going to be done tomorrow. It gets up to 38 and it's going to get real greasy real fast. So that's why we're working a little late tonight trying to get something done. We're almost done with the ripper. We've just got a little bit more to do. I don't know if we'll get it done tomorrow or not, but we'll get close. So that's why we're working with it, working on it, staying late. Dad's going to get up early to keep it moving. We are south now, down by the turnpike exit on 15. So, all those lights over there and semi-trucks, they are on Ohio Turnpike, 80-90. And, yeah. You can see that, right? guess if I hold my phone over there farther. Yeah, the light. Anyway. Well, crew is a lot of peeps. Close area doing their stuff. Barn extension on schedule. It's probably a little behind. They had originally, when we ordered it, said November. They were going to manufacture November. They're doing that now in December. It is what it is. It would have been nice to be able to put stuff in there this winter, but it's not a big deal. Reuse garage? Really? Alright, I'll go with that. Are you going to put heat in the seed warehouse? Eventually, yes. That's why I put the propane tank out there by the seed warehouse, propane tank for the new house, and buried a long line, because I want to put heat in there. It isn't going to happen right now, but yes, that is the plan. I need some insulation too. Yeah, I can only do so much, one thing at a time. When do you hope to finish the new house? I hope to be done by the end of January. It's probably going to be sometime in the middle of February. That's where we'll see. The engine corn is there. Separate varieties? Is that what you're asking me? There are separate varieties, but a lot of them are the same as the varieties that I sell in a non-engine version. How about them fertilizer prices? Got quoted $5.70 a ton for 28 for spring 22. Yeah, that sounds about like what they are here. I got a price from one of our suppliers yesterday. No, last week, Friday, for anhydrous, and he quoted me $1,527 a ton. That's outrageous. Outrageous. Although I talked to a neighbor today and said it was $1,300 and something that he could buy it for from a different place, so I guess there's some variation in it, but that's still really high. Last year we paid $4.80 a ton, so yeah. What about a corn burner? I mean, yeah, we could use a corn burner. Propane's pretty cheap. Corn's pretty expensive right now. I don't know. Variety for silage and ethanol production. That engine corn is there is there separate for silage and ethanol? No, I mean there are certain hybrids that are better for silage corn than grain, right? But the engine is all the same across all of the engine hybrids, and you can use either one for either. There are some that are getting to be more and more silage specific for feed side of it though, that you wouldn't want to plant for grain. Howdy from West Texas, send me some snow or rain. We're really dry over here. I would send you as much rain as I could because we've got plenty. Do you have to worry about dirt blowing where you farm? No, hardly at all. Our dirt is pretty heavy and sticky and clay, and we don't have sand that just blows away. So not something we worry about. Yes, we can see the civilization over there in the distance, yeah. Berkey tillage done. We've got the ripping done down there, so the stuff that had to get done is done. I would like to get down there and work the corn stalks yet with the disc, but if it has to be in the spring before we do that, it'll be in the spring, and it's not the end of the world. So it would take a good day, probably 2 days to do that down there. And if we were prepared and ready, we could go down and do it, but we've got enough to do here that we haven't moved and done that. You can talk to your local auto repair shop and collect their used oil for next to nothing as well, if you go that route. Yeah, I know that's an option. There are a few other guys around that have used oil burners, and in fact, some of them take our used oil, so yeah, something we could look at. Gree oats. Alright, I can go with that one. Gree Oats Garage, sure. Awesome, thank you for the videos. Thanks for watching, David. 1425 spring prepay. Yeah, you're in the ballpark. How many acres would you have to pick up to upgrade to a 24-row planter? A lot. It would take a lot. Well, I shouldn't say that because I had that thought today of like, maybe I should buy a 24-row planter. But I don't need a 24-row planter. I can plant all my corn right now in 8 days. And that's with a slow 16-row planter. So what I would really like to do is go to a high-speed 16-row, in which case I could plant at least 50% more acres with the same 16-row planter. It would take a lot to have to go to a 24-row. Now we could consider going to a 24-row without picking up a ton of acres, but I don't have that need right now, and we're not really in the full-on let's expand and get as many acres around as we can mode right now, because we don't need to be, so it's unlikely. Griots. There you go. Thanks, John. Would you ever consider a different brand of tractors? I mean, I can be PC and say yes, but it would take a lot. I'd have to have some major issues with what we've got. The fence intrigued me more than case. I really could care less about driving a red tractor. It doesn't interest me. A lot of that has to do with our local dealer support that I don't feel like has been very good. But I haven't had very good support out of the local fence AGCO dealer either. So that's why we stick with the deer pretty strongly. And I mean, I'm not saying no. If Fent would like to send me out one of their fancy 2-track tractors to demo next spring, I would take it in a heartbeat. But I don't see that as a real possibility. So, you know, I would look, but it would take a lot. Another storm going through Cali. Yeah, that's what I hear, Alex. Well, you're doing a late one tonight. Yeah, late live tonight, because we're working late. Doing some late night ripping. Welcome from Wisconsin. Thanks for typing it out for me, Robert. High speed, precision, sub-inch or whatever, right? Insert 10 million. Yes, exactly. Exactly that. We have a high-speed planter on our farm pulled by a new 2020 John Deere 8R 340. Nice. That's awesome. That would be a dream setup here for me. 8RT though. 8RT. John Deere green is best. Nothing runs like a deer. If it ain't green, it ain't me. Yep. They all have their sayings, right? These days you are somewhat tired. These days you're somewhat tied in with the software, right? Yeah, it's more flexible than you might think. There are some colorblind companies out there that you could work. So what he's talking about with the colors of the tractors and the brands and stuff, about being tied in based on the GPS software and the displays and all of that stuff, and compatibility across brands. And yeah, there's definitely some truth to that, especially when you start looking at some of the implement automation stuff, and like deer planters, you have to have a deer display to run it. And while you can do that on a competitive tractor, a red tractor or whatever else, it's not as easy. So yeah, that's definitely a consideration as well. I know John Deere's system. I really like their operations center, the computer management side of it. I'm getting to know their displays really well. It probably wouldn't be hard for me to learn how to use an Ag Leader display or somebody else's stuff, but it would be very difficult for my dad. The boys say hi. Hi, boys and Carrie. Thanks for watching. Bakersfield, California. Thanks for the great videos. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for watching. Why not a 790 for having only one combine? Well, I get crap all the time for having a 780 and running an 8-row corn head on it. So what should I get a 790 for? No need. It would be nice at times to have more power running a 40-foot draper-headed beans, green stem beans. Not enough to pay another $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for that combine just for that extra horsepower. And we don't have the trucking and the logistical ability to get rid of the corn from a 12 or 16 row corn head, so a 790 is unnecessary. I contemplated going back to a 770, a size smaller machine, because it would run our corn head just fine, but I feel like I would give up too much in beans. And if we ever decided to put an air reel on our bean head, I think that extra horsepower of the 780 is going to come in real handy. Raining up in LA. North supposed to be raining here around 2 a.m. left coast time. That's late. What brand of semi would you buy next? We're not as brand loyal on trucks as we are on tractors, so I would be pretty flexible and open to whatever brand we could find that was reasonable and fit our requirements. So in looking for a truck, there are a few things that are a must-have. Number one, it must be a day cab. We will not buy a sleeper cab truck. No way, no how. Number two, it has to be high horsepower or be capable of high horsepower, meaning pushing 500 horse. A lot of them are 400 or 450 that can be turned up to 500 fine, as long as we can turn it up to 500 horse. We would really like an automated transmission. Auto shift, I shift, M drive, ultra shift, whatever you want to call it, something that shifts for you. Not a true automatic, but an automated shifting transmission. Number 4, whatever number I'm on, it has to have a relatively low number of miles. I don't know what that is yet, whether it's less than 300,000 or less than 500,000 or something, but in the past, we've bought trucks with 500 to 700,000 miles on them. And while they've been okay, we've had a lot of issues with them, and we would like something more reliable. And that means a lower mile truck. So, I really like the Volvos, because I hear very good things about their I-shift transmissions. But I'm not married to that. Obviously, we've been running Freightliners. They seem to be the cheaper but decent trucks, but we've had some issues. So I don't know. The Peterbilts and Kenworths are super nice trucks, but are they nice enough to justify the cost? Is there an actual advantage to them to make it worth paying more for them? I don't know. I can tell you we will not be buying a 80s, early 90s, big, long, square-hooded Kenworth, fancy Peterbilt, whatever, because they're the cool trucks, because I don't care. What is one change in management do you plan to make across more acres after the 21 season? Probably going to spray more fungicide. That paid off big time this year, and I wish I would have done more. We'll probably do more of that next year. Next year it probably won't pay, but we'll do it anyway. Outside of that, 21 and 22 are setting up to be complete, total opposite years, at least from an input standpoint and our cost. And so we're going to have to tighten the belt a little bit. And whether that means shopping around more or cutting back on some of the fertility and the starter, the nitrogen, changing up our chemical program to find something that's more reasonably priced, I don't know. But the costs are out of control right now, and we've got to figure out how to adjust for that. Howdy from Michigan. Well, actually, I'm in Ohio. Indiana. I'm in Ohio. How many 1,000 bushels can you hold in your bin sites? A lot. Let's do some math. So in our bin site at Waldron, sorry, every time I set my elbow on the seat here, it gets all shaky because I can't hold my phone still. And I apologize, but I'm tired of holding my arm up. Anyway, in our farm in Waldron, we have 120,000 bushel bin, a 45,000 bushel bin, a 40,000 bushel bin, a 20,000 bushel bin, a 12,000 bushel bin, 3,000 bushel overhead that's all connected to the leg system in the dryer. So 120 plus 40 would be 160, plus 45 would be 205, plus 20 would be 225, plus 12 would be 237, plus 3,000 in the overhead, if you count that, would be 340,000, right? Yeah. We also have those 3 little bins out back that we keep wheat in. I believe there's a 12 and 2 7s back there. So that'd be another 27,000 bushels. 26,000 bushels. So roughly 350,000 at our main site in Waldron. At the site in Berkey, we've got a 20,000, a 7,000, 2 5,000s, and another 6,000. So what's that? 20 and 12. Did I say 12? I think that one's 12. 20 and 12 would be 32. No, not 12. 7. 20 and 7 would be 27,000 plus 10 for the 2 5s. It'd be 37. Plus a 6 would be 43 plus 3. 43 plus 3 would be 46,000. So we're right around 400,000 bushels total that we can store. Somewhere in that ballpark. We did not fill the bins this year. We hauled a lot of stuff out at harvest, so some of our bins are half full right now. The big one's full. I mean, we've got a lot, but like the wet bin that we use at Waldron, we did not refill, so that one's basically empty right now. One of the 12s. Just tuned in. It's 3:10 a.m. in the UK. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. But yeah, I get you. I was reading some article today about the differences in British English and the American English and Australian English, and it's quite entertaining. I like that kind of stuff. Anyway, did you know in Australia they have a thing called fairy toast? At least according to this article. I'd never heard of it. Fairy toast. You guys know what fairy toast is? You guys farm in Iowa? Nope. We're in Ohio and Michigan. New semi. You gonna look at DEF stuff or older, low hours, low mileage, nice to treated, no DEF? I'm sure that whatever we buy will have DEF system on it. We're kind of looking at like 2015, 16 and newer trucks. Is the house finished? No, it's not finished. It's getting closer, but we're still a month and a half out probably. A good month. Did you get the stairs finished, and are you planning on covering them up? So, I got the risers, the skirt boards, and the trim in. All of that stuff is getting painted white. They put the first coat on yesterday. I assume they painted again today, so I'll show you that stuff when we get to it, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, that stuff is done. We're working on the not the risers, the treads. Dad's been working on those. I think we're gonna pre-finish them, so I'm gonna start working on that as soon as I get time. Maybe next week. I don't know. I don't know when. I'm trying. But yeah, we're working on it. So the treads are not in yet, but I was waiting for them to finish painting. We've also got a 770 combine with a 12-row head. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So a 770 instead of a 780, it's more than enough for the corn. You can run a 12-row head on it. It's just that 40-foot draper in green, thick, rank beans that I want to be able to run 5 miles an hour in. I'm going to give up a lot of ground speed with a 770 versus the 780. And we don't run a 12-row head because we can't keep the corn away from an 8-row. So why would I run a 12-row? I don't need it. I have a 16-row planter. The 8-row matches up really nice. I cannot keep the corn away from an 8-row when we are more than 2 or 3 miles from the farm, and we have decent corn. So there's no reason to go to a bigger corn head. What do you think of a Gleaner combine? From what I've seen from watching Brian's videos, Gleaner makes a heck of a combine. They're really nice. The problem is the Gleaner dealer is the same as the Agco and the Fendt dealer, and we have a really good relationship with our John Deere dealer. Let me leave it there. See, now, most people would say just the opposite of that. I hear really, really good things about the Volvos. Alright. You're probably not the only one with problems with Freightliners. Yeah, that's probably true. Only Volvo dealer can work on them. Well, fortunately, we have a Volvo dealer pretty close, so that might not be a problem. My neighbors run John Deere because they can always get parts. I like green too, as long as it's in my pocket. That's why I put it on clean. Fair enough. John Deere dealer put a part shed in my driveway. It's pretty hard to beat that. It's not the grain bin capacity, Kirk. It's the trucking capacity and the logistical issues. This year we could have run a 12-row from the dryer and everything would have handled it. We just couldn't haul the corn fast enough. And, I mean, we've got 3 full-time guys and Brock, who's around sometimes he's not. But even if we had a 4-man crew on the harvest, you know, then we can keep the trucks moving and keep up with the 8-row just fine. We might be able to keep up with a 12-row. But our tillage isn't happening. We're not getting anything else done. And so most of the time we operate a 3-man crew for the harvest operation, and we try and keep somebody doing tillage. And this, as good a job as Phil does, he can only turn trucks so fast. Like we can't get it away faster. And so there's no need. Shortage of nitrogen and Roundup. Yeah, I don't know that there's actually a shortage, but they like to tell you that. Any thoughts on center pivots or more irrigation? Yeah, I mean, you can put that on my wish list too. It's kind of those back of your mind things when you don't use it this year, but next year, about the 25th of July, when I'm irrigating and it's 100 degrees out and I'm getting tired and ticked off and stuff for not working right, yeah, pivot will sound real nice then. I mean, not seriously something we're considering, but something we talk about all the time. Happy holidays from North Central Oklahoma. How does your wheat production acres look for 22 compared to this year? Terrible. Our wheat looks like garbage. Now that said, we have some of the better looking wheat in the area, but we had too much rain this fall and it all looks bad. So we'll know more come spring, but right now I'm not very optimistic on wheat. And 80 bushel yield may be optimistic. This year we averaged 100. Will you find out all of the new ones have computer electrical issues? My relation runs California with new trucks. Seems like something is always going on. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? At the most, we're going to put 20,000 miles a year on a truck. Now, I can understand where on a new truck that's running up and down the road every day and guys are putting lots of miles on it, where they're going to have issues and you're going to have problems and things are going to break. It seems like if they can build trucks that are capable of doing that kind of workload, we should be able to buy one and put 20,000 miles a year on it with minimal problems. Doesn't it? Doesn't that seem reasonable? Maybe that's too high of expectations, but that seems pretty reasonable to me. Lots of Europe do Christmas on the 24th thing. I don't think that's true. Is that true? Do you guys in Europe, who are all sleeping because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, do you celebrate Christmas on the 24th? I mean, it's the 24th here, and where you're at in California, when it's the 25th there, maybe that's what you mean. But I don't think that's true. I know, Alex, it killed me to paint that stuff white, but it's what fits the decor, and it would look terrible to have red oak with walnut treads, so, yeah, and a white oak floor on top of that. Merry Christmas from Manitoba, Canada. Thanks for watching. You ever go back to running 2 combines if you had to? it would take a pretty big acres increase for us to go back to running 2 combines. I'm not saying it won't happen or it's not something we would do or consider. We don't have the need or the manpower right now. Labor shortage is going to be an issue in the future for me, especially as my dad wants to retire and slow down. So trying to be more efficient and use less labor is kind of the idea, not more labor and more operators. When was the last time you purchased farm ground, and do you see any purchases in the near future? Well, farm ground is stupid expensive right now too, so I don't know about that. If something comes up for sale, especially if it's something we're already farming, we'll probably look at it, see if it's something we can feasibly do or not. But I don't know. Last thing we bought was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but it was a big chunk. We bought 175 acres 2 or 3 years ago. Paid a lot of money for it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's been anything since then. Nothing significant, at least. Yeah, I think that's right. Yes. Stay away from that. Gotcha. Truck engines in 13, 14, and 15 are notoriously problematic with their DEF systems. Later improvements were made for 16 and later. I was wondering when that happened. I knew that there was a break in there that was no good. Our Cascadia, the newer truck that we have, is a 12, and I know they have issues too because it's a particulate filter and not the non-DEF truck. So I knew the 16 and newers were better. I wasn't sure about 14 and 15s in there, but that's good to know. Thank you. Western Star, huh? I saw a really nice new Western Star online. Out of our budget. And we do no-till. Yeah, there's some no-till around here, but not corn. We don't no-till corn. Yeah, well, pivots don't have the problem of me having to move it every 8 hours. So there's that, compared to my hard-nosed Traveler. Any thoughts on adding a larger dump pit to grain system to get corn away faster? Well, the pit's not the problem. It would take a bigger leg or a really deep pit, and that's not an option. No, not seriously, no. I mean, we have an 8,000 bushel an hour leg. It's the bottleneck is not really dumping trucks. We can dump a truck in 8 minutes, so that's pretty fast. Merry Christmas. Depends on the truck was taken care of before you. Yeah, that's true. Condition is everything. My Uncle Jack happens to be a retired roadway mechanic, so he knows a little something about trucks and maintenance and yeah. No, we celebrate 24 Christmas morning. I can't read that. Mostly because I'm shaking, but also because, yeah. Christmas Day. I assume you mean the 25th, Christmas Day. I'm gonna go with that. What do you think about carbon credits? There you go, there's a topic. I am thoroughly confused and don't understand them at all. I think the whole thing is a farce, to be honest, because all it is people buying carbon credits so that they can pollute more or act like they're carbon neutral when they're not. And I think that's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't think it's a lucrative market that's going to catch on. I could be wrong. That's my opinion. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And we'll buy some of the merchandise as soon as it's available. Again, Merry Christmas. Thanks. Why didn't you get a diesel pickup for towing and farm work instead of a gasser? Well, I bought a half-ton truck because I kept my 3/4-ton Chevy around for doing the towing and stuff. When I bought that truck back in 2012, I bought a gas because diesels were an extra $15,000, and that's ridiculous. I pull a trailer around like 2 weeks a year, 3 weeks a year, so it just wasn't, I couldn't justify it. I don't need it. Diesels are cool, yeah, they're cool, no doubt, but cool doesn't pay the bills or the truck payments or any of it. So with my Ram that I bought a gas truck because I wanted something that was smaller and nicer to drive around and ride in and get better fuel mileage. I know they have a 3-liter diesel that you could have gotten, and I would have looked at that, but I bought this truck used. It's what it had. So I got such a good deal on that truck. Like, I looked it up on the Blue Book the other day just because I was curious. I could sell that truck right now, if Blue Book is anywhere close to accurate, for $15,000 more than I paid for it, and it has 15,000 more miles on than when I bought it. Like, I got a killer deal on that truck, and I'm thrilled with it. So it's tempting to sell it just because I do have another vehicle and I don't have to have it and wait for this truck market to crash and then buy another one. But I really like that truck, so I'm going to keep it around. Is it your historical data pretty locked in as it's stored in your vendor's offsite software system? Could you transfer it to another vendor's system? Oh, you mean if I was changing brands or something like that? Yeah, I'm sure I could get that data off of there, or I could continue to use John Deere's, my John Deere, their management system with a third party's data. You know, if I had an ag leader display in the combine as a yield monitor, I could still take that data and import it into my John Deere. I don't think that would be a problem at all. So, but yes, I also have that data stored on my computer, and it's backed up. They celebrate more 24th Eve night more than the 25th Christmas. Oh, I got you. All right. They have more Christmas parties on Christmas Eve than Christmas Day. All right, I follow you now. Why did you pick your Ram pickup over another Chevy? Yeah, so I really like that Ram. It's a nice truck, and I like my Chevy. It's a good truck, but when I started casually looking at pickup trucks a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago, whatever. Yeah, 2 years ago now, a year before I bought it. Chevys had terrible reviews. Just the interiors were not nearly as nice, and Ram had really, really good reviews. The Fords to an extent too, but I'm just not a Ford guy. I couldn't bring myself to buying one. And so I looked, and had I found a nice Chevy that was right up what I was looking for, I probably would have bought that too. A year or 10 months prior to when I bought that Ram, was it then? Maybe it was even before that. It was 2019. It was when we hadn't planted anything. We were in that prevent plant year, end of May. My wife works in a Ford, and they took in a nice Chevy that was brand new, like 3 or 4 months old on trade, and I looked really hard at buying that. I strongly considered it. I think I got another rock. No, I don't. Maybe I do. I strongly considered buying that one, but we had not planted anything at that point. 2019 was shaping up to be a really bad looking year, and I was just like really hesitant to go out and buy a truck. So I passed on it. Right or wrong, I don't know. So I was back and forth on the Chevy versus Ram. I could have bought a Chevy and been fine with it. Their new ones, their 22s look better. You know, next time I'll probably buy a Chevy. I don't know. But that Ram is a really nice truck. I like it a lot. How many more acres would you like to farm if you could get the acres? like I've said before, we're really not in an expansion mode. I don't turn stuff down. I wouldn't say no to more acres, but I'm not sitting here like, oh man, I wish I had another 1,000 acres or 1,500 acres or whatever. We're sitting in a spot where we're shrinking the labor pool until my boys are ready to start farming, if they want to start farming. And so as my dad and my uncle get older and want to slow down, I have to bridge that gap to the next generation, and more acres isn't really the answer there. I mean, is it nice to have? Sure. And I would absolutely talk to anybody, landlords around here, that were looking for somebody to farm it and to do it right. But I've kind of taken that be more efficient approach, and how can I make the ground that we're farming or anything that we do pick up better and be more profitable on those acres rather than needing to expand. So I don't have a good answer there. I've always kind of in the back of my mind had this idea that, here's what I like to say: I want to be big enough to drive nice newer equipment, but not so big that I don't get to do it, right? I don't want to be one of those big farmers that doesn't drive a tractor anymore because he's got to manage all the people he's got working for him and they do the equipment operation. This is the best part. I have no interest in being a manager that doesn't do any of the day-to-day stuff. None whatsoever. But I also like nice, shiny, new paint and nice, comfortable cabs and fun equipment to do it with. So that's my answer. Big enough to have nice equipment, small enough to get to drive it. What that number is, I don't know. I would say somewhere in that 3,500 to 4,000 acre range would be ideal, but that's highly variable depending on a lot of different factors. How's your new house coming along? It's coming. They're getting a lot done right now, which is nice to see. Yeah, we definitely got another rock, so we're going to stop on the end here. But it's going to be a little while yet. They've got the tile floors in. They were grouting those today. The kitchen cabinets are all in. What else? We're working on the stairs. I think they're getting ready to paint walls, color. Haven't done that yet. Flooring's going to be the big thing. I got to get that hardwood in. I would imagine the first couple weeks of January we're going to be working on that. And countertops, they came and measured for countertops this week. So that's good. Let's see what we got here. Let me turn the camera around. This one again, but I don't see a rock. That's a dirt clod. Oh, I hear it. Somewhere over here. Sometimes you can make it spin backwards. There, it all fell out. Did we get it? I think we got it. Didn't even need to hammer this time. I did get a big pile here that was pushing though. That's no fun. Brr! I say it every time I get out because I don't have my coat on, so it's cold out here when I get out. But I got it nice and toasty in the cab here. Let's see, we've got about 15 acres done. You guys see that? 15.6. So there's about 30 acres left in this field to do. I'm gonna keep working for a little while. What time is it? 10:39. So my plan here when I started this was to stop sometime before 11 because I have to edit today's video yet. So I'm gonna do that before I quit tonight while I'm still in the tractor. So we'll wrap this up here in a little bit, but we'll keep going for now. All right. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Like the videos for me, please. If you weren't with me earlier when I was talking about stuff, you guys aren't gonna, you're failing me. We're not gonna get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which was really my goal. Didn't happen, not gonna happen, but that's okay. I am, however, prepared to offer you merchandise when we get to 20,000. I'm talking about it. I will seriously look into it and see what it's gonna take to get it. But I'm not doing it if I don't have 20,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, please. Traveling gun is work. I would take a pivot any day. Thanks, Zach. Absolutely. You're 100% right. Only problem with running a 770 is we can't go very fast with our 40-foot draper. We can only go 3.5 miles per hour. See, exactly. Yeah. See? You're 770 with a 40-foot draper and you can go 3.5, and I've got a 680 and I can go 5 to 5.5, and I can run 5.5 all day doing corn with an 8-row, so. I suspect if you had a diesel road pickup, it would be tempting to use fuel from the wrong place. Yeah. I don't know. That's a pretty big gamble. My mom actually had a diesel car for a while. It's my sister's now. Chevy Cruze with a diesel in it. We never put farm fuel in that. I wouldn't plan on your dad ever retiring. He's too much of a mover and shaker. Yeah, you're right. He's not going to retire. But he is going to change in his roles and slow down, and even already has. I mean, he doesn't like working past 7 or 8 o'clock at night most of the time now, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But it's not how things work on the farm all the time, and so things have to keep moving. And so, like tonight, today, you'll see in the video, but I was running the disc, the 8R with our disc, doing some corn stalks earlier today, and then Dad called me when I was finishing up a field, and I offered to take this over for him because this is more of a priority than disc and corn stalks, so we need to keep this tractor moving. And he went home for the night, which is fine. My sisters are all home, his grandkids are there, and he wanted to go hang out with them, and I got no problem with that. But that was at like 5:30. Yeah. Look at NADA for retail, Kelly. NADA is what dealerships have been using for trade-ins. Total BS. Yeah, I looked at KBB there, and like I said, I'm not actually going to do anything. I was just curious, and it said it was worth $15,000 more than I paid for it. And I'm like, well, I bet that dealership was kicking themselves for selling it to me for that. But I bought it right before everything took off. Right, I got it in March, and it was like May, June when the shortages really started hitting and things really took off. So, you make a Christmas train, make the Christmas train, and where was that at? So the Christmas train video that is on my channel from years and years ago, yes, I did make that with my drone. It's actually a railroad track that goes right through here. It's the track that train went on is a mile south of me right now. They run from Detroit or Windsor, Canada, over to we're on the way. And so that year we heard it was coming, knew when it was coming, and so I went to one of our fields that was on that track at the time to sit there and watch it. We flew the drone, I watched it go by, and then it stopped, and I'm like, holy cow, it stopped, let's drive up to the next road. So we did, and I got to film it again, and I got a lot of really good footage from that. Made that Christmas train video. It's cool. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Canadian Pacific Holiday Train or something along those lines. Last I looked, it had like 120,000 views on it, so it's been a popular one. The Ram needs slightly larger tires, mini rims. Not nothing huge, just slightly wider, higher. Now, dude, it's got 22s on it. How much bigger tires do you want? That was one of the hang-ups with that truck, is that I'm like, the 22s are excessive. I do not need that. Like, 20s with a thicker tire sidewall might look better, but those are pretty nice looking rims, so hard to change them just because. Surprised you didn't use the wife's employee discount and buy a Ford. I still got a better deal on this Ram than I would have gotten buying a Ford even with her discount. And I just couldn't bring myself to buy a Ford. I can't do it. She's going to hate me when she watches this again, so you guys need to stop talking about it. Thank you. We look forward to the weekly videos. Weekly, man, these are daily. Let's see, all the other farm channels do not put out much farm content. I know. I've been all caught up with Zach and Brian for a while, and there's nothing to watch. I was telling Brock earlier tonight when we were done, I'm like, there's nothing on my phone anymore. I've looked at everything. Everything's the same on YouTube. It's the same on Facebook. It's the same on the Google News page that I look at. Like, I'm bored. I've been binge watching some TV shows. Doing the same thing tomorrow. Yep, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Is that escape hatch above your head in the cab? This? No. That is cover for the recirculating air filter that is up there. The fan for the air conditioner is in the roof. It's a terrible spot for it because it's loud. Can I get that back up there? Nope. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, on the new tractors, they moved it back behind the seat again. How profitable would it be to buy more land and then turn around and rent it out? Not at all. Not at all. Let me see if I can do this math in my head. So, let's just say that you can buy an acre of land right now for $6,000 an acre. That's probably reasonable around here. Might be a little on the cheap side. It might take more than that to buy it. Depends on the ground and a lot of different factors. Okay, $6,000 an acre. It's gonna take 20% down payment. Let me pull up my calculator. Nope, wrong one. Application calculator. So 6,000 times 0.2 means you got to have $1,200 to put down in that cash, which means you're going to finance 6,000 be what? $4,800. $4,800 per acre. Okay, 4,800 divided by 30, we're going to say 30-year annual payments. It's 160. Something's not right. Where's my math wrong at? I don't know. Dad and I were figuring this out the other day, but we were figuring it on a larger scale. But basically, the rental income would be about half of the payment. So if you financed 80% of a purchase price at $6,000 an acre, the money that you would make from rental income would pay about half of the annual payment plus property taxes. So no, you're not buying it for the rental income. You are buying it for an investment because it's going to be worth more 20 years from now, 50 years from now. And that's why this land goes for crazy high dollars and amounts, and it does not cash flow on a crop farm. Doesn't happen. What kind of music do you listen to or like? Well, I'm more of a country kind of. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. So that's one of the side effects of making YouTube videos, is that I can't have the radio on in the background or they demonetize me. And so I just don't have the radio on ever, and so I've really moved away from listening to the radio, and I do some podcasts and stuff here and there, but I just sit and listen to the engine a lot. Good evening and Merry Christmas from Flintstone here in Southern Illinois. Glad to see somebody's working. Thanks for tuning in, Don. You're in a sweet spot. Don't blame you to stay the course. Hopefully the boys will come in. Hopefully Brock stays with you. Yeah, you know, and hopefully the boys do want to farm, but if they don't, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. If one of them wants to and one of them doesn't, that's fine. We'll make it work. And Brock's great help. I don't know how long he'll want to stick around and be around, but you know, he's good to have for while he's here. At some point, I may need to find somebody more full-time than what Brock is, or somebody in addition to Brock full-time. I don't know, but We'll worry about that when it becomes an issue. Ooh, how's the tile wall color combos looking? Since the tile's going in, some of the most of the cabinets are there. Are the colors shaping up with what you had in mind? You'd have to ask my wife all of that, Alex. I'll show it to you. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow. But we were unexpectedly in tractors all day today. I was down there briefly this morning at the house, but didn't get a chance to go back and do anything down there today. So, was there actually a year you considered not planting? Could you make that work financially? No. That's a bad idea to not plant. 2019 was really, really wet in the spring, and we took some prevent plant from crop insurance. That's the closest to anything like that. But even that year, we would have been better off to plant soybeans really late. We didn't know it at the time, but our beans that we planted the 29th of June still made it in the 50 bushel range. And yeah, that would have been a better option, but we took the prevent plant, and it's a break-even thing. You're not making money by not planting. You're lucky to scrape by. Have they made any more progress on the shop this week? I assume you mean the new building going up. The concrete walls are done. That's it, and that's where it's going to sit for a while. Other than us doing some backfilling and maybe putting some stone in and stuff, but the barn's not on site yet. I don't know when we're going to get it, but I would guess we're at least a month out. What time is it for you right now? It is 10:52 p.m., almost 11 o'clock. 12 to 14-year-old grain cart drivers will be here before you know it. Yeah, maybe. Do another live stream soon. Yeah, we'll see. 10:42 their time. Am I really that far behind? I am. 10 minutes behind. All right, I'm going to fly through these here, guys. When are you planning to move into your house? Probably February. Maybe Anna will join you working on the farm when Dad retires. Maybe. Poor Zach got the crud. He's behind now. Yeah, that's true. That's why Zach didn't put any videos out, because he was sick. A334R is pre-def. Seems to be a good tractor from what I can tell. Keep it won't depreciate. Yeah, it's a good tractor. I really like that one. It's not on the top of the list to get replaced, so. Brian has been ice for, yeah, Brian has been on ice. Try watching Sun Farms channel, funny beef farmers. Yeah. How many acres do you have left that you want to do tillage on? Maybe 150 of the Ripper, and then a lot of corn stalks. I don't even know. What was that music video we're in again? Ha! Wow, you're going way back. So I am in the music video for the Lost Trailers. That's the group, the Lost Trailers. They had a video called Holler Back about 15 years ago now. Pretty upbeat country song, and very briefly, but I am in the music video for it. Good evening, Nathan. Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless. Thank you. Hi from Australia. Thanks for your daily videos. Have a great Christmas. Brock! See you in the morning, boss. Thanks for watching, Brock. What's your least favorite thing to do on the farm? Well, my favorite thing to do is to drive tractor and operate the machinery. My least favorite is power wash, which is why I hired Brock. Right, Brock? No, we're doing it. We're getting it. Somebody on yesterday's video called me out for being mean to Brock because I made him power wash. Yesterday's, not this morning's. So I had to go back and link about 5 or 6 YouTube videos that are of me power washing the combine, because he acts like I won't do it. And, well, that's just flat out not true. Case in point, this morning's video. So anyway, finally we've got caught up to the live. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. We're still moving along. I'm going to keep moving along for a while. What are we up to? 18 acres? Yep, 18 and a half. And we'll get some more tillage done here tonight. I'm going to edit the video and then call it a night. We'll see if I get this one done tonight or not. I don't know. Dad's going to get up early and keep working. Brock's coming to the farm early to get in the other Ripper, and we've got a 30-acre piece he's going to go do in the morning. I'm hopefully going to be in the disc working on that some more. So we'll have another day of some tillage videos tomorrow. Make sure you guys tell Brock to film for us so that we have good footage. I haven't watched today's yet, but it's always good when he does that for me. So thanks, Brock. we'll see you in the morning, and everybody else, we'll see you guys in tomorrow morning's video. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Merry Christmas, everybody. I will try, I'm not going to commit to this, but I will try and do another live stream sometime next week, between Christmas and New Year's, something around there, and we'll go from there. So Merry Christmas, have a great night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later.